Hello everyone, I'm your main host, Curly Fries,
Kimchi.
Shashi.
and today we will be interviewing a guest. Here is Mr. E.
How's it going, you guys? Thank you for having me on your podcast today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. A little bit tired, but good.
Yeah, I got that. He's our teacher here at Upward Bounds for the summer program. And we decided to interview him and ask him questions about his general life, his past, plans for the future, and career. So let's get into it. What is your motivation as of right now, and what was it like in the past?
So my motivation for business was to just have a job where I wasn't working for somebody else's dreams. Back then, it was just a way for me to be able to go to school without having to call in, have a timesheet, have to get scheduled, stuff like that. That's what really caused me to open up my business, and I opened it up during my college years, and it helped me a lot not have to worry about getting fired or let go because I was more concerned about exams and passing. And now my biggest drive is to do something better for this world, and I think it has allowed me to now teach. Without this business, I don't think I'd be in a position to be teaching you guys now. I love to teach. I love to offer other students, what I didn't have when I was younger. I was in a position where my family was living paycheck to paycheck, and there was a time where I had nobody to help me. Nobody reached out to lend a hand, and I want to be the person that does lend a hand to the younger me.
So, in a sense, would you say that teaching is your second motivation, or your students are your second motivation?
Realistically, teaching, because it's not just students. When we look at you guys as students, right, you guys are in an educational organization, institution. But outside of this, I also teach entrepreneurs how to be entrepreneurs. And in that sense, when I get to help an entrepreneur open up their business, their dream business, and be taken out of that cycle that I was in where I was working for somebody else, that makes me happy. Puts me in a better place as far as now I know that somebody out there is being their own boss and learning how to run their own business, and now they're living their dream. For you guys as students, I don't have much say in that, right? You guys aren't old enough to really do a lot. You can't sign legal documents. You guys can't do that. But if I can teach you something, and if I can be the mentor that you guys need, that you guys can reach out and email, even after Upward Bound, that's my goal. I would love for students to just want to come by and hang out at the studio and, come and hang out with my crew, come and, maybe one day somebody wants to become a photographer and they want to come and shoot. I have no problem teaching that, because then sometimes that puts you away from wanting to go do those bad things, make those bad choices that lead to bad directions. And I'm okay with that. I would be happy to have that. I'd love for students to reach out and just, hey, can I come and hang out? Go. Whatever needs to happen, I'll make happen.
What does your average day look like?
It depends, but averagely I wake up about 5:45 in the morning. Typically I go, for a run or go to the gym. On the days that I don't do that, I am studying something. I'm always wanting to learn. So my big passion is learning. For example, today I was learning how to code what's called Python, which is the top of coding language in computers. And then while I'm teaching, I come straight here, grab coffee, and teach you guys until 12. I go back to my office where I have my employees and continue working for my clients, continue growing my business, and then sometimes I don't get home until late. One day I was home at 11:30 at night. The next night I'm home at 12 p.m. and then I start the day back over the next day.
Okay, and you said you'd like to help entrepreneurs?
Yeah, love it.
And you're an entrepreneur yourself?
Correct.
Okay. Then what is your business and what does it do?
So my business is multimedia, so we do everything from videography to photography, graphic design, web design, social media management, things of that sort, or anything media really. And essentially the business was just a photography company. So I had this passion for photography and I started growing it. I mean, I grew it to be what it is today, but when I first started the business, I never assumed that it would become what it is today. I have 2 employees now. I have an office. I have a studio. We've established 5-6 other businesses already and continue to manage some of these businesses. And, I if you would have told me that 5 years ago when I started the business, I would have told you you're nuts. Now, I mean, we've grown to be an international business where we go down to Mexico for the Baja races to film that. We've also, last year, supposed to be in China, Australia, England, Vietnam, Philippines before the pandemic happened. I'm happy. I mean, it's what we do, and we love to help other entrepreneurs do what they want to do.
So, according to the data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 20% of small businesses fail within the first year. By the end of their fifth year, roughly 50% have faltered. After 10 years, only around a third of businesses have survived. Does any of this apply to you, sir?
Oh yeah, definitely. In the sense of, when we talk to entrepreneurs, we let them know that. And one of the biggest reasons business fails and that statistic happens is because nobody knows how to run a business. If you look at any business owner now, is that they're very good at what they do, whatever their trade is. For example, mechanics, right? They're good at working cars. Put them behind a computer to tell them how to bookkeep, how to do taxes, 1099s, W-2s, and they don't know how to do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but they've never learned the foundations of entrepreneurship. A lot of people think that when you open up a business, you get your license and you're solid. No, there's actual big trickle effect once you get your license. Then you have your city license, your municipal licenses. You have to understand the difference of a structure between a sole proprietorship, a LLC, limited liability company, an S Corp, C Corp. You need to understand all of that. Your structure of your business also matters as far as taxes. What are you going to get taxed on, what you're not? What are going to be your breakdowns? I mean, there's so much. Bookkeeping is very important because if the IRS ever audits you and you can't prove that what your taxes say match your receipts, guess what? You're in trouble now, right? Because now you're technically lying to the government. And there's so much more to that. You have to purchase insurance. You're going to do what's called a CRM, a customer relations management software. And that becomes an issue because nobody understands that. So those statistics are very true, and usually businesses that make it past the third year are going to become successful if they continue on a right path.
So I am just curious. You have new entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
Do a lot of them that come to you usually, like, has anyone ever given up after hearing that there's so many things to do?
I wouldn't say they gave up, and the reason is because they have somebody like me knowledgeable to help them. Yeah, and when you don't have that, I mean, just for example, you guys, right, creating a podcast or teaching you guys how to do it, I bet you once you hit hardships, if I wasn't around, you guys would just, okay, I'm done. I don't want to deal with it. 90% of people here, I don't mean here like as in this class or anything. I mean here as in like the U.S. that I know of. Once they find something difficult, they stop doing it, right? Yeah. You find every excuse to not do it. When you have somebody like me around, that's telling you how to do things, or helping you, that is teaching you the way, and you see those small successes, you don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the things that I think as you guys being my students, I've taught you. Right. Those little things should not stop you from doing the next thing. What it actually should do is have you pause, learn that basic step, so that you can move on to the rest. And I think that's been the big success with my entrepreneurs, is that they have somebody there to push them, somebody to guide them, where a lot of people don't, right?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know what to do when they don't have someone to tell them what to do.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And when, for example, the latest one was actually happened yesterday. We had an entrepreneur that ran into some issues getting his garage license for his mechanic business. He had no idea what to do. He was lost, right? Luckily enough, I knew the process. We got it done, and he got his license yesterday. And he was excited. He was stoked. I mean, he was like proud of himself that he got to that point. Had he not come to me, they probably would still be, pulling him left and right with that paperwork. And that's what makes my entrepreneurs continue pushing for success, is that they see the small little steps that just make the bigger picture.
Yeah, a lot of the time when people don't have someone else pushing them to be their best, they will never be their best.
Exactly, they stop. But I do also have to say, with that in mind, is that there is some people that you can't push. Some people, once they're pushed, they shut down. Like, no matter how much how hard or how little you push them, they're gonna shut down. And those are the people that will not make good entrepreneurs, because you can't have that in entrepreneurship. It's a hard journey. I mean, I can tell you, when I first started my business, I was the head photographer for 2 magazines, and the lady that actually hired me, we ended up in a bad business deal. She ended up owing me money, and there was issues with that. If I would have given up right then and there when that happened, I don't think I'd be in the position I am today. But I decided to push on, right? I found every reason to continue doing it rather than finding every excuse not to do it.
If you could go back and change anything in your life, what would you change?
So this is a question that gets brought up a lot for me. The real answer is I wouldn't change anything. I truly believe that in life, everything happens for a reason. Had I not gone through the hardships, the breakups, the downtimes, the financial struggles, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't have learned the things that I've learned today. And I definitely don't think I'd be sitting here talking to you guys right now.
So if your business failed right here, right now, what would you do?
Start another business.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, one thing with entrepreneurs that you have to learn is that we're survivalists.
You need to adapt.
Yeah, and with that last question, right, do I regret anything? No, because everything that happens in my life is for a reason. And when we get to that point, if my business ever does fail, it's for a reason. Yeah. It's going to be for a reason.
Most businesses fail for a reason.
Exactly. Whether it's for my lack of leadership, my lack of management, my lack of ownership, my lack of talent, whatever it may be, there's a reason why my business failed.
Yeah.
There's also a reason why my business has succeeded. I can't take the whole credit for that, right? It's been life. It's been life that taught me hardships and how to overcome them.
So do you fear failure? Because a lot of students, right?
Yeah.
They don't do risk-taking decisions, mostly because they fear failure. So in business, as in yours, did you not take some risk that you wished you did?
In the sense of business or life, one of the biggest reasons why people quit anything, whether it's the gym, business, diets, new jobs, new opportunities, certifications, is failure. And one thing I learned early in my career is that if you don't face failure in the eyes and accept it, then you're always gonna fail. There's not gonna be any rebound, right?
You won't grow.
Have you guys ever heard the saying, it's not how hard you fall, it's how hard you get up? Yeah. That's really what it comes down to. Of course I failed. Of course I've been at the bottom of the bottom. Of course, even with the success I have now, I've questioned, am I a failure? Am I not doing better things or bigger things than other people? And I'm okay with failure. I mean, I look fear in the eyes and I say, bring it on, because once you become comfortable in that position, nothing else can faze you. I mean, if you go into something with the mindset of failure, you're gonna fail, right? Yeah. If you go into with the mindset of success and you fail, you get mad for 10 seconds, you get over it, and you come back 10 times harder. That's where it's at. That's what you need to look forward to, because then you know you've already faced that challenge. If it comes again, you're gonna face it the same way. You're gonna get back up and you're gonna do it 10 times better. And a story I think I told you guys is I failed my first cybersecurity exam, right? Yeah. I failed it and I was mad for like 2.5 seconds. And then I was like, you know what? That's not gonna faze me. I got one more chance. Let's do it. I took the next couple weeks to learn it. I got back to it.
You're only a failure when you don't get back up.
Exactly.
Oh, and
What are your current plans for the future? Will you be doing this until you retire, or will you switch to something else before that?
To be honest, I don't know if I'll ever retire,
Yeah.
but that's me right now. In 30, 40 years from now, that may be different. Different mindset, different, body, different lifestyle, may have kids, things of that sort. But realistically, my plans is to eventually grow into different industries. So if one fails, I'd never lose revenue. And that's kind of my mindset. So when I get, 40, 50, 60 years old, if I'm a CEO of like 12 major companies, I'll be happy. That's where I want to be.
Okay, well, it seems like that's all we have for today, guys. So, of course, we had me, Curly Fries.
Kimchi.
Shishi.
And Edgar.
So, of course, Edgar's our teacher. So if you want to find him, check him out at Upward Bounds.
Yep.
And you want to plug yourself?
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and check out my company Instagram. It's e.sierra media, all one word, on Instagram and every other platform, Facebook and TikTok.
Okay, so other than that, guys, this is Curly Fries, and have a good day.